was ZQK again. ZQK was awesome. I'm showing you the intraday chart here because the trigger, well, I'll show you here the trigger, the stuff that I set up last night. The trigger was 407 on last night's video. The sell range was 435 plus, which would have been a 6.8% gain. It made a high of 457. So that's a huge move. The stop loss here was at 4, so even if you took it here at 4.7, I don't think you would have been stopped out at all if you waited till that trigger. And I'm gonna show you that right now because we have the let me go to the 3-minute chart here. Your trigger was 407 and it broke it right here early in the morning, and then which I don't like to buy the triggers right early in the morning, so I would not have taken that trade. Now some people have been asking me, it's like, well, when you have these buy triggers, can you re-enter these stocks when it pulls back to the trigger? And my answer for that is kind of like yes and no, because it depends on the trade. Like, why did it go? You have to factor in, why did it go back to that trigger price? Was there lots of selling and does it still look weak? Is there still a lot of selling, or is it kind of hanging around that trigger and not breaking under it? It's still not that bad of a trade if you think about it. If you're going to still use the same stop losses that are on the watch list, go ahead and do it. I mean, you just maintain that stop loss because you're still using that same amount of risk that we originally thought of, which I'm going to go back here is, you know, say it goes back to the trigger price, it spikes up, you maybe missed your entry, but you know, you want to buy it again here because it looks strong, it's holding up pretty well, you're starting to see the selling kind of taper off, it's not, you know, shooting down real quick. You don't want to catch a falling knife here, or try to at least. So it's kind of hanging around the buy trigger. Go ahead and buy it. Just make sure you maintain that stop loss. You still have the same risk reward here. So here's your reward and there was your risk. So you knew if you were going to go in here at the trigger, yeah, here's your max loss and here would be your max gain. So it's not a bad idea to do that. So I mean, it just, like I said, it really depends on the stock itself, but for the most part, yeah, you're still not risking too much. So you know, we'll look here again what happened here. So it spiked up, it kind of sold off here, and you know, it did kind of hit the trigger price again, which was a great entry again. So you had 2 shots at this one, and then you look here, it hit the sell trigger like about an hour later. So you would have been out here, and then it continued to just kind of like pull back a little and kind of turn sideways, but it never really broke under some main support here, and it just kept trending up for the rest of the day. I wanted to buy it, but I didn't want to buy it till like a little bit later, but it was just not really moving much for the rest of the day, and it turned out that the little breakout here was right around you know, 11:30 my time at least. You know, there was a little breakout here, but it wasn't that as volatile as last time. So it finished up nice. It finished up near the highs of the day. I mean, this thing can probably move more, but I don't think there's another entry here. I think that you know, what was the real time alert at the other day, like 373, and it hit you know, it hit 457 or something today. I mean, so we've been messing with it for a little while, and I'd rather focus on some other stuff right now. But it's just been a great play. So quite a few of you guys I saw were emailing and putting on the website that you guys made some money on this one. So good job. This was just another strong move here, 12.38% here from Friday. Just solid. Like I said, earnings breakouts can be like solid runs for like a couple days, 3 days, and you know, this was a great example of that. So let's look back on another one that hit its trigger today, and that was ISCO. I'm not a fan of this, how it's trading right now, just because it didn't have that much volume initially, but